Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning
Morning.
to you. How's
Good
everybody?
morning.
Morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Grab your coffee, sit back, relax. Thank you for spending time with us this morning. I'm your Texas Duck Card Dude, and that's enough about me. We have the honorable, the distinguishable Jeff. How are you doing?
Great, man. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope everybody's doing awesome. I cannot complain. I'm ready to enjoy this week, the rest of this weekend. Go hang out with the kids later today, get some dinner, go bowling, go shopping, do all that fun stuff. Hope everybody else is doing well out there. How about yourself?
Man, I'm better than I deserve. Thank you for asking. Getting to go to the Cowboy game tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
Cowboy game.
You're gonna go watch that boy Diggs tear it up again defensively, huh? What a beast he's been.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna go see Dak tear up the secondary. So that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. Looking very forward to that. Looking very forward to that tomorrow. And then we got some guy. I don't know, some dude.
Is he new here or something?
I don't know. The original OG, the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. James Beckett. What's up?
I'm good, Brad. But you're the dude.
Yeah.
Good morning, David, and good morning, Rex. Appreciate it, man. I don't know if I like my bald head being up there, but it sure is nice beating Peppa Pig. That's for sure. Because my daughter used to watch Peppa Pig, so I know how important that Peppa Pig is, man. And then good morning, Miss Amy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. What do you got going on this weekend, Dr. Beckett?
Everything except the bowling.
All right. So shopping, lunch,
bowling,
dinner, whatever.
A little bit of everything. But actually, Rich is going to come over this afternoon, and we're going to record a couple episodes of my.
Nice.
So
nice.
That'll be fun.
You can do a little Bed Bath and Beyond, a little.
I'm the chauffeur for that kind of action.
Get some Yankee scented candles.
There you go. Oh, yeah. No, we were just sitting here talking pre-show. We thought we'd talk a little bit about this new release upcoming here that is interesting. This Mosaic baseball coming up. I mean, it's different. And I know it's probably not the lead of what everybody wants to talk about, but let's start off with something soft and something easy. What's up, Drew? What's up, Drew? Good morning. I really like how this. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mosaic. So Mosaic and of course baseball coming together. These pictures are just. I mean, for me, it's absolutely gorgeous. Right. In glass. And then sticker autographs, which looks like we're gonna continue to go down that road. But
so and so it's gonna be the first year that they're actually going to release this as a full set. We've seen little hints of this here and there as it's been featured in Chronicles in the past 2 years or so. But anybody who is a fan, who is typically what I tend to see or find is that I know of anybody is people who like the actual Prism product are fans of this because it's typically in that similar realm, but it's usually quite a bit cheaper. I think what they're thinking is at the release point that the MSRP is going to be just under $200 or right around $200. Now, how long that'll stay that price, hard to say. I mean, we could be talking, in a day or two, the price changes. I picked up 2 boxes of the Optic baseball yesterday at my local LCS, and they had them on the website on Thursday. It came out on Wednesday. They had them on Wednesday and Thursday. They had it priced at $150 a box. I went in there yesterday afternoon, and just like most things these days in the hobby, and asked what the price was on the product, and they said that it's a $175, and I was like, well, that's interesting because you were just at $150, and they're like, well, you know how it is, it's already jumped up $25. So if you're gonna want to get on this, if you're gonna want to get in around that $200 price point, I would definitely try to, if you can afford to, if you want to rip any of this product right away before that price really jumps, because we see it all the time. Once it's released, once things start coming out, once cards start filtering, that price tends to jump up. So
What do you think about this, Dr. Becker? What do you think about mosaic baseball and this?
Well, I think the scenario that Jeff's laying out, if a product comes out and if it's 150 one day, if it's not 160 or 175 the next day, if it's 125, if it goes down, that's bad. Now, if it's
Right.
400, that's really bad.
right.
But, Panini is secretly pleased if they release the product and it starts moving slightly up.
Mm-hmm.
Way up, they're going to think they underpriced it. But no, yeah, new products are the lifeblood of the industry. So they need to come out and they need to be, uh, there needs to be a buzz about them. So
Right.
that buzz is usually translates into a slightly higher price after they're released. Then 2 weeks later, we'll see. A month later,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Right.
But
This is
Panini puts out some good stuff.
David's got a great question. David always comes up with the greatest questions that make you think, because kids aren't, they're not able to grab the vaccine right now. Was thinking if the COVID vaccine is really available for kids before the holidays, could you see an influx of kids at winter card shows? What do you guys think? And we'll even take this a step further about card shows in general, because Jeff and I were just talking about this early. The back half of the year, you know, we should see a ton more card shows. And
Mhm.
if the COVID vaccine is really available for kids and we get more people into and showing you're getting vaccinated, this is great. I think it's nothing but great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously again, I think, it should increase that, right? It should have some kind of impact. It's going to be with any of those out there, and to each their own, and to everybody's beliefs and how they go about, how they see things in the world, and with the, vaccines and everything else. The parents that feel that, their kid would have to be vaccinated before they can go around a card show or whatever. I mean, yeah, I would assume you'd see a little bit of an uptick from that, but I think again, you're still seeing kids at the card shows. You know what I mean? Like right now without it. So obviously those parents that, are looking out more for the safety and see it however they see it. Obviously, if they're vaccinated, could help. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is y'all's show. This is about the hobbies. It's about all that entails. Join the show. Put your questions, comments, gripes, complaints, nags, pet peeves. If it's a complaint, it's all Jeff's fault. If it's positive, it's all my fault. So come in and join in. I guess we could deep dive into
Let me make a quick comment about the COVID that DR brought up. I mean,
Go
basically,
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
what you got going is it's not just about the kids. I think one of the interesting things about the COVID phenomenon, this season we've been in, this pandemic, is that I'm sure people are concerned about themselves, but they're really concerned about others in their lives. It's not that they would go necessarily and get COVID, whether it's a breakthrough kind of thing if they're vaccinated, or they get it if they're unvaccinated, or if their kid gets it because they're not even eligible to get vaccinated. There's lots of different populations there, but they're really concerned about their grandparents and other people in their
Mhm.
lives that have comorbidities. But what we're seeing is that I'm not saying it's playing completely out, but there's an ebb and flow to where we're hoping and praying the worst is over, that a
Hmm.
lot of people have gotten it, and for the vaccinated people, they should feel pretty secure that even if they get a breakthrough, they're very, very unlikely to die. But then the unvaccinated people, uh, they're taking their chances. They're either going to get the disease and then get the natural immunity, or they're going to die. And it's a small percentage they're going to die, but it's going to, to me, the herd immunity is based on all that. And when people feel like it's run its course, which hopefully it has now, and that kids are safe with or without the vaccine because they've not had any even option for vaccines. So if
Right.
kids are safe, everybody's safe, and the older people have really, and I think the older people have really taken it seriously. Then
Mhm.
hopefully we're out of this, Brad and Jeff, in this that it's a 2021 thing, and we go into 2022 with confidence that you can be in a gathering and not be worried about your status or anybody else's status. And it's like, and hopefully it's like being, I'm not going to go to the show because I might get hit by lightning. Well, nobody says that. So it needs
Right.
to be, if it's a really rare occurrence, that's what I'm praying for, that everybody in America and around the world has taken the steps, and the therapeutic options are increasing, um, to where we don't have to be fatalistic. You can so hopefully that, Jeff and Brad, that translates into confidence to go to the
Mhm.
show, and to bring your kids or your friends, and that it's a safe place. But I just haven't heard of a lot of outbreaks anyway at any of the big shows.
No.
So yeah. So I'm hoping, really hoping this is something that's in the rearview mirror once we get to the end of the year. Kyle's show in a few weeks, Brad. I'm not sure that's going to be affected. There are some kids there. Would there be more kids if they're able to get vaccinated? Usually the vaccine doesn't kick in for a couple weeks, or they
Right.
don't feel like you're
Yeah.
fully vaccinated, and they wouldn't be boosted. So, but again, I think kids are pretty resilient. Most kids, it's rare that kids are getting it, but they can bring it home.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't scheduled my booster yet, but I know that it's coming. I know that it is coming, and we are seeing a little bit more, at least at the last show, kids coming. Uh,
Mhm.
so I'm still, anytime I see a kid at the Dallas Card Show or anything like that, I make sure that I make a special point to say hello. Even when I was behind the table, every single time I saw a kid, I thanked mom or dad for bringing them to the card show, because they can't get there until mom or dad brings them. So
Right.
it's very, very important to have their
Well,
parents
it's
support.
the problem, and not the problem, but I mean the optimism is that if you didn't know any better, you would think a card show would be a super spreader event. It's
Right.
indoors. People are talking in close proximity and having extended conversations, and not that they're slobbering over each other, but it's an intense day of being around cards, and being not very socially distanced, and not
Yeah,
very masked up either. So
Right.
yeah,
people are coming in and really enjoying it, and they're not throwing caution to the wind, but they're enjoying the experience.
yeah, yeah. I I I 100% agree. Otherwise, I'd say I disagree, but I 100%, because it's all about the kids, man. It is
Right.
all about the kid. I love watching, and this is something that's been completely unexpected over the past couple of shows and the card shops that I've been to. The kids have been more reinvigorating than I would have originally thought, and to see their excitement and to see it's infectious. It's very infectious. So I'm all about I'm all about it. Free grab bags for the kids. I handed out cards. I'd ask a kid what their favorite player was, and I'd try to find something as quickly as I could to hand that out. Just trying to make sure that they enjoyed themselves, that they had a good time, that they brought
Absolutely.
something back. Because again, great point by John. We need them.
Yeah. We
We
do.
need them
For the
into the
future.
hobby.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
The
mean, it's
future.
the opposite. Is Brad, you're a really wonderful guy, but if you were a different kind of personality, you're sitting at your table and a kid walks up, the grumpy person says, "Stay away from my table, kid. I know you
Right.
don't have any money and you're
Right.
not vaccinated. Just move along." I mean, nobody's going to say that. I'm being
No.
facetious, but
Right.
it's very welcoming that we want kids in the hobby, whether they're
Yes.
vaccinated or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. I've actually been to a table where I've gotten that vibe. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I've gotten that vibe too. Well, we've gotten the vibe as even just adults, right? At other people, like just people just like, man, how are? And then you walk away and wonder, how do they even sell anything? How do they even do any business? Why are they're not even in a position to be selling anything because they're not personable? They can't interact with people. Like, yikes.
It's
One
just
thing. Oh, go ahead.
it's justified if you walk up to somebody's table and you're coughing all over them and
Yeah, right.
not
Exactly.
covering your cough and
Runny
sitting
nose dripping down over your
nose.
face.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got any cards? Uh,
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
hey,
Right.
move
Right.
along. Yeah. In fact, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Brett, one thing I wanted to bring up and just kind of, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, or maybe we do. It just kind of depends on where this goes. But it just came to mind. I've been noticing around the hobby, around the social media platforms, a lot more photos of retail in the retail stores
Yeah.
available, actually stocked stuff. People saying, "Hey, I bet this stuff was here like last week when I was here. It's still back here." But now I want to touch on something. We knew that the price hikes were coming. They already kind of happened, right? But
Mhm.
I have actually been seeing some people posting photos of prices on like we're talking like Bowman Platinum mega boxes for $79.95. $80 for a mega box. $40 for the blaster, right? We kind of figured they were going to go to 25 or 30 on a blaster, but I'm seeing some $40. I'm seeing megas for $80 a blaster. So they finally caught on, right? They're trying to
Mhm.
get their piece of their pie as long as they can, until whatever takes place. But I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on that? Has that finally slowed down? That, I mean, obviously it's grabbed into the guys that just came into the hobby to buy the product up if they can get their hands on it, get in with the vendor, whoever, buy it all up and then turn around and sell it. I mean, what's your guys' takes on that? Yeah, $26.98 for a hanger box, so I mean, we're seeing that. We knew it was coming, right? We've been
Mhm.
talking about this for a long time about the price hikes. But what threw me off was an $80 mega box of Bowman Platinum. That's getting up there.
Dr. Baker, why don't you go first and
I mean, it's basically I'm in favor of anything in the hobby that makes people think and not just go to the store and clear the shelves and just
Mhm.
say,
Right.
"I'll take it all," because I
Right.
know it's a great deal. Now they gotta stop and say, "Wait a minute, let me do the math." So anything that requires some knowledge, some homework, that slows people down. If it's too much of a no-brainer, that's not good for our industry. Needs to
Yeah.
be, "Oh, okay, well, they've tripled the price on that. They doubled the price on this. This is still the same price." What so to think about it, to
Right.
actually have some knowledge instead of being a flipper without any insight about what's a good product and what's a bad product. Just thinking I can buy anything, double it, and flip it. And you know, Panini and all of them have gotten wise to
Mhm.
that, I think. And so,
So
but if
John,
they overprice something, then they'll moderate next time.
right. So John says we need something other than Topps Gallery not selling. Well, I'm telling you, I'm seeing Topps Chrome retail sitting and guys saying, "Hey, this was here last week. It's still here." I mean, so we're seeing it. WNBA Prism, like, then people have been in love with that stuff. There was someone that posted a photo that said the same blasters were sitting here a week ago. So it depends on the areas, just like anything as well, where you're at probably and how deep the hobby or the people who are trying to resell are in the area. But
But can you imagine going to a grocery store and walking through the aisles and saying, "This ketchup is still here this week."
right.
I mean, there's a
Oh, it's
certain
crazy.
velocity of sales. If something doesn't sell in a week, that doesn't make it cold. In our industry, though, we've gotten used to things not being there. You better
Right.
get it before it goes. So again, for people to be thinking about it and not being totally emotional, but saying, I'm gonna think through this. Do I really want to buy this at this
Yep.
price at this point in time?" So
Yep. I agree.
Well, we
Brad?
knew we knew this was coming. I mean, people are already paying that price on eBay.
Right.
So the the price hike, okay. But it slows down and it gives more people an opportunity to buy the product. Um,
Yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I know. I like it. I don't know if I love it, but I like it. The part that my biggest fear is you're used to paying a certain price. You
Mhm.
pay the newer price, but you're getting the same value out of the box.
Right.
And that's the biggest complaint that I hear whenever I'm listening or just the value not being there on a $80 to $120 pack. I mean, I, and
Brett,
we were hearing complaints from that to begin with off of eBay. I mean, go ahead.
they're not thinking about the actual value of the pack that they open. They're thinking about the potential value of the pack that
Right.
they will be opening. And they're optimistic that they're going to get something huge. And it's like a losing lottery ticket. You rarely win, but when you do win, you can win big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Harris, the 1999 for I was just going to touch on that, like what Brad was kind of saying. We're used to the old school. We could walk into a Target or a Walmart and just pick up the days where we used to just be able to pick up a $20 blaster, right? We just want to grab a little blaster to rip. They're usually always sitting there. Used to be that way, right? Until we got people clearing those shelves because of the price and then turning around. But it's the days are gone. Obviously, we can't sit here and dwell on the past, but it is interesting to look back now and see how much has changed, with that, and even in the retail side of things. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm torn. I guess I'm torn. I guess I'm glad to see the product on the shelves. We need the product on the shelves. I want this. I need it. I gotta have it. But by the same token, my pocketbook needs 1990.
right. Yep.
So I don't know. That's the big tear. Champagne. Let's see. What is it that somebody remind me? It's a salsa pocketbook with caviar
taste.
Yeah, caviar taste. That's what I'm trying to go with. That's what I'm trying to go. I did take my medicine this morning. I promise I did. I promise I needed to take it. I needed to take it beforehand. So join in, everybody. Please join in. Comments and questions are encouraged. We love the conversation.
Come on, it's Tom T in here. Tom T, call in. Somebody, Amy, call in.
Yeah, Amy,
Rich.
call in. Amy, call in.
Rich
Amy,
can give us 5 minutes of wisdom easily. Come on, Rich.
I don't know. I might accidentally stop
filet mignon taste on a hamburger budget. There you go.
There you go.
Champagne taste
Kevin
on
Jones
beer budget.
Kevin Jones got hit the nail on the head.
I'm surprised Rich has nothing to say today.
I am too. I really don't want to dive into that topic, but if we have to, we'll go there. There we go. What do y'all guys think going all in on Kyler Murray? I'm a fan.
This kid is, a lot of people are calling him the video game quarterback, right? Because he continues to do some incredible things, get out of some insane pass rushes, should be sacked 2-3 times, somehow develops to find a way out, get out of the pocket, and then throw something deep and make some big plays happen, or just get out of the pocket and run and scramble. The only hard part, just like with anybody, right, that's still very young, it's a high risk, right? At any time, they can get hurt. How often do we see quarterbacks, ACL injury, some type of injury, or sometimes even an arm or an elbow, right, from throwing the football? I mean, those things can happen. Now, yeah, they can come back. Typically in today's world, with most injuries, when players have to have surgeries, it's they used to be a year out. Sometimes they can be back in 8 weeks now. I mean, it's incredible where that's gone, where the medical side of things and all that's gone in the sports science. But I mean, I'm a huge Kyler Murray fan. It's just, he's still very young. There's those chances, but that's the risk you take, right? If you don't take a risk, you can't get the reward. Now, you're still going to be, it's not like he's a secret to people. So as far as the buy-in, if you're talking about going in and buying like singles and buying rookie cards and whatever, you're still going to be paying a pretty penny for them right now. It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be a cheap PC buy-in. It's not going to be he's not a secret quarterback that people don't know about. Right now, he's one of the tops, and you're going to be paying the price for that. So,
Yep.
put him on your wall.
What do you think, Dr. Beckett? Any
What does
comments?
all in even mean? Does it mean you're going after Kyler to the exclusion of others? Because there's so many alternatives in the hobby. Are you going to, or does all in mean you're going to get a big card of Kyler?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, because all in, if you're going to put all your chips, which all in pokers, I'm all in, and then on this hand, and I win, winner take all. So I think he's a winner. I think he is more durable than certain other quarterbacks, and so I think he can have a long career. But all in means I'm cashing out my Tom Brady's to go all in on Kyler Murray. I mean, I just don't know what that means.
It's actually amazing too that the height he is, there's only one other real quarterback, at least in the playing days of today, that's, I think, isn't he under 6 foot?
He's
Russell Wilson is
Russell
too.
Wilson is
And that's it. Most quarterbacks are like 6'2" or 6'4" or 6'5", so they can actually see over the linemen. Most times his linemen are taller than he is.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Think about what he's doing. His size. Just
But
like Russell Wilson.
It makes him less, I mean, notwithstanding Russell Wilson just got knocked out.
Right.
Kind of a fluke thing. But, I think some of those shorter guys are less susceptible to injury.
And that was a hand thing, So
I couldn't hold him back anymore. We have two. I want to bring them both in at the same time because they've been holding it. There's Amy. What's up, Amy?
What's up?
Amy.
How's it going, Deb? How's it going,
Good.
guys?
How are you?
What's up, little man?
And then we got Jason and Aiden. What's going on, Aiden? Nothing. What are you watching in the background?
Sports Center.
SpongeBob?
No, Sports Center.
Oh, there you go. That a kid. That's the right thing to be watching. No one needs SpongeBob as long as you got sports, right?
Exactly. Amy, what do you got going on today?
Nothing. It's pretty nasty out. It's kind of rainy, so I think I'm gonna just chill for the weekend, watch some NASCAR, some football, play with my cards.
There you go.
Awesome.
I got lots of sorting to do, that's for sure. Always, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Always sorting. Aiden, what do you got going on today?
Nothing really. We went to the donut shop.
Oh,
nice.
What kind of donuts did you get?
I got 6 what are they called? Donut holes, and then I got 2 kolaches.
Nice.
At first, when you said 6, I thought you were going to say like 6 big donuts, and I'm thinking, whoa, man, this kid can out-eat me in a donut contest.
No, but I did get 1 big donut.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh.
Did you let your dad get a donut?
Yeah, he got 1.
Did he get a strawberry donut?
He got a cinnamon roll.
Love cinnamon rolls.
He let me have half of it. And
That's good.
What else did he get?
Cinnamon sugar.
Cinnamon sugar.
Oh. So Aiden's an excellent judge of football players. Aiden has this knack for football players. So I like playing this game with Aiden. Aiden, who are you collecting right now in football?
OBJ.
Oh, come on. OBJ. Anybody else? Who else besides OBJ?
I know.
Player.
We all know why. It's that one-handed catch.
Yeah.
Brought it all into the kids.
OBJ, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. There you go.
The cheetah. The speed cheetah. Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Do you have a question for us today? Do you have a question you want to ask?
No.
Now, if you ask us something you just saw on Sports Center, we're probably not going to have it unless Brad or Dr. Beckett has Sports Center on the side over there and they're watching as we do the show.
I have a question to ask. Oh man, you're not usually
Amy,
nervous.
Yeah.
Amy, who are you collecting in football? I mean, I kind of know some of it, but who?
Yeah, I got me all the Broncos I can get. Also, I've been doing Taysom Hill though, because he was born in Pocatello, Idaho, and he went to school in Pocatello, so that's my guy off
There
the
you
other
go.
team. My little collection.
There you go.
And that's kind of an interesting thing to kind of touch on with Taysom Hill because, Jameis Winston had this incredible week 1 game, right, with 5 TDs. He didn't throw a ton of yards. It was just under 200. I think he had 197 if I remember. I'm pretty good with numbers. I think that's right. And he just really hasn't been there. The offense just hasn't really been there. I mean, Taysom Hill has been basically the guy that's really been finding the end zone, which he's done in the past. When they get to the goal line, they bring him in, right? He does a quarterback options, runs it, pumps it in. I mean, do we see, we're not the ones to predict this, but or make that call, obviously, but do we see the possibilities of maybe even Taysom Hill? Because there was that quarterback up for grabs type thing before start of season or preseason, what have you. Winston wins the job. Do we possibly see Taysom Hill kind of take over here if this continues? It is a great possibility. So, that kid could be the hobby per se popularity of him. He's already got a little bit. It's not crazy, but that could impact that too if he starts to take the realm and be the leader of that team. So,
what's up, Brody?
Say hi, Brody.
Hi,
has
Brody.
Dr. Beckett heard any feedback in the co-op LCS idea from a few weeks ago?
Brad, aren't we going to do an episode or kind of talk about that on Wednesday?
We are Wednesday night. We're
Yeah,
going
I
to
don't
talk about
want to
that.
spoil that. We're gonna do kind of not a simulcast, but I'm going to be on Brad's show, I guess, and we'll kind of do reciprocity with. Is it Dan?
No, it's just he's got a football game he's got to attend to, so it's just going to be.
We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it.
Yeah, it's going to be you and me batting that around. You and me batting that around. Unless anybody else wants to join, so we'll see. We'll see. Aiden, you had looked like you had a question.
What do y'all think about Dak Prescott and his values?
In values. Oh, Dak Prescott values. You know what I think about Dak Prescott values.
So I'll throw my
out of
little
this one.
deal in. I mean, I was even personally, me as not really like a huge Cowboy fan, being in Minnesota, I was pretty heavy on Dak, and then he ended up having that injury, right? We just touched on a little bit ago about how quarterbacks and football players in general, the injuries with the amount of contact and whatnot. And then, he took a little bit of a dip, but that love came right back, right? When we knew he was coming back to play, and most people did anyway, even after the injury happened. I mean, there's always that possibility that after surgery, the recovery may not go correct, but he comes back. I think he's almost right back where he was. People kind of it's like any player, when that injury happened, people are like, oh, sell Dak, and that's when, again, it's that type of injury where he should make that comeback. He should be back, which he did. That's when you buy. I've got a decent amount of Dak Prism Silver rookies. I know one's still at PSA. It's been there for probably a year, like everybody else's cards. But hopefully it'll make it back one day, and I'll be excited to have that back in my hands, as I feel he continues to play well, and I think the value of his cards continues to be there. So, anyone else?
Amy?
No.
On Dak?
No.
No.
Nothing on Dak.
Nothing on Dak. You want
No
any of my
Mississippi boy
cards, you
comment?
let me know.
What about you, Dr. Beckett?
Well, I don't load up on any one person, but I do like Dak. But it just what Jeff was saying just makes me realize that the it's not. I mean, it's coming out gradually, the PSA backlog, and BGS
Mhm.
has one, and the others do too. But anything pre and post any injury, is can be problematic. For you submit cards to PSA, and if it was before an injury that he gets injured, then you're waiting a long time, you get it back. But with
Yeah.
Dak, it's actually gone down and come back up. So if
Yeah.
you put it in there a long time ago, you're probably not frustrated that you've got some Dak cards coming back
Mm-hmm.
in the next few months.
Yep.
I
So
hear
I,
you.
I think he's a hard worker. I don't think he's a top tier quarterback. I think he's in the next group. And is he good enough to lead him to a championship? No, unless like your guy Trayvon, if he keeps getting, he's
Dude,
playing like a
yeah,
receiver on the
insane.
defensive side of the ball. The ball's to him. If he's going to get an interception or two every game, Cowboys are going to go a long way, and Dak is
The
going to have
Vegas
a great
kid.
season handing off.
So, Dr. Beckett, I want to ask you a question going off of what kind of you just touched on talking about Dak. So you said he is not in that top tier, which I could possibly agree with that, but I want to know who is in your top tier quarterback list.
Well, I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady is this last year, next to last year, whatever. I don't know how he can keep going, but he's amazing, and the system is built around him. Mahomes, I think, is the most gifted quarterback in terms of throwing and stuff like that. Aaron Rodgers is right up there, although I'm not sure his supporting cast is good enough. Josh Allen, I'm waiting to see. But right now, if I was going to start a franchise, would you really take Dak over Patrick Mahomes?
I
don't
would.
think so.
Well, I don't know about over Mahomes, but I would definitely. Dak would be in that
To me,
conversation.
he's in the he's I don't think the Cowboys need to upgrade.
So where
Yeah.
do you see Kyler right now? Second tier?
He's probably in there. He's probably
Or
in
top?
there, but not. I wouldn't take Kyler over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There's not many you would take over Patrick.
Well, and it's hard to. I think it's hard for. I think it should be hard for just about anybody, unless they're really a hometown fanboy like Brody the Kid and saying Derek Carr every 2 seconds, which he is up there. He's playing great this year, but had to take a shot at my boy Brody. But shots fired, right? But what was I trying to say here?
Well,
With the whole Patrick Mahomes thing, and especially with him winning championship, right? Being a young, Super Bowl champion, a winner now, it's kind of hard to kind of take him out of that as he continues to play just amazing. So, yeah, I agree. Someone said Justin Herbert. Where do you see Justin Herbert? Kind of second tier right now.
That next group, Josh Allen, equivalent.
Yeah.
So would you group Dak into that young second, third year, even though he's been in the league just a little bit longer?
He came into the league a little bit older because of his greater college experience. But yeah, he's still a young quarterback. I think he can get better, but he's just in that next group. He's just not in the absolute top group. But he's, like I said, he could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback with the right team around him.
And he did also lose almost a year too, in his NFL
that's
career
true.
with an injury.
That is true. I forget that he's got that 1 year missing now, but
right.
I I'm a Cowboys fan, so I love Dak, so I can't. I'll go Dak.
When he was injured, if Jerry Jones had asked me, we have an opportunity with a bad leg Dak that we don't know if he's going to come back, to trade him even up for Matthew Stafford to come home to Dallas.
Oh
do
man,
that deal.
I would think long and hard about that, because I am a Stafford fan.
Yeah, because I think Stafford is the real deal, and now he's got a chance to prove it.
Yeah, I'm a huge. I have always been, because
that's what I've been saying. I've been talking to Stafford before the season, and I've heard a lot of people. I've even had big, heavy Detroit fans. And of course, maybe some of that comes from the not winning success, right, in Detroit, like where they have that side, not really looking at him as an actual player and having the talent around him now. Man, I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough especially come playoff time. But we'll see. We'll see what he can do with a supporting cast and a good defense in the playoffs.
Well, just
I
to
think he can.
complete my thought so I don't get in trouble with anybody. Today, I don't make that deal. Today, I
Okay.
don't trade Dak for Matthew Stafford, even though Stafford is having a great season. Dak's having a great season. I don't make that trade because Dak, I think, is fully back, younger, and a great team leader.
Yeah, there you go, Brody. I don't know about Kyler Allen being in front of Dak, but I'll leave that in there. I'm sorry. I just like Dak's leadership and the way he rallies people around him, and he's taken a locker room that was it was polarized last year. And then when he jumped right back in, and you hear comments over and over and over from the players how this year's different from any other year, and that they're all gelling together, and winning helps a lot, but you have to think that that's Dak gelling that team and his leadership finally showing through. I mean, and again, I'm a Cowboy homer, and I'm a Cowboy fan, so we'll take that. We'll take that.
Right.
All right, Amy, you
What's
got
the
anything
thoughts?
else?
Wait, one more. While we're talking quarterbacks, NFL, I just want to get some thoughts on what people's takes and thoughts are so far from the rookie Mac Jones.
I like Mac Jones.
I like all of the young rookies until they actually got on the field. They
Zach
are
Wilson throwing 5
actually
interceptions,
what
the true
rookie
rookie.
quarterbacks are supposed to do. They are
Right.
actually doing what rookie quarterbacks are supposed to do. They're supposed to struggle. They're not supposed to have this instant success. They're not supposed to have. I mean, if you go back to that's why they rode the bench in the 80s and 90s. That's why they sat there for a year or two holding a clipboard, learning how to. So for me, it's not surprising what's happening.
Right.
I just, would I like more success on what's going on? Yeah, sure. But I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, it is what it is.
I like my quarterback lineups.
Teddy B. Teddy
Yeah, they
Bridgewater.
hit him hard, man. He got waylaid though, man. And no flag. I have to disagree. I mean, our guy touches their quarterback, flags all day. Their guy slams my guy helmet to helmet, no flag or nothing.
Yeah, so John's bringing up a couple of people too. We got Burrow, which we got that Jamar Chase receiver who apparently couldn't catch passes and is getting a touchdown every single week. It seems to be. He has no problem seeing the ball anymore, and they didn't put any white stripes on each end of the ball either to help him catch. So, but another interesting guy that John brings up here is Trey Lance. Well, Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance, but Trey Lance is going to be getting this start this week. So here's another thing where that uptick, he comes out. He played great last week when he came in. He comes out and he plays great. You're already getting a little bit of that in the hobby, people, Trey Lance type stuff. You're going to see the post of people posting cards all over the place when he starts, hopefully making some big plays tomorrow. So it'll be interesting. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's throwing the ball a lot, right? He's definitely throwing the ball a lot. We just got to get that accuracy up.
Oh my gosh!
Which is a rookie, that being a rookie. So.
Again, it's what rookies are supposed to do. They're supposed to struggle. So it doesn't surprise me. Logan had a really, really good question, and I kind of want to go back to this. Amy, I don't know. Amy, do you grade? I don't even know.
Nope, I have not graded one card.
Okay, so you may not have an opinion on this, but this has been something, especially in the vintage market. I've been listening to Baseball Collector Mike Moynihan a lot, and they've had this conversation about it affecting the vintage, but 830,000 cards in September, the most that they've ever graded. They're averaging, I think it was 16,000 cards a day, if I remember right. I'd have to go back and find my statistics to make 100% sure. But they're still 18, 12 to 18 months out from being caught up, and that's not counting attrition. That's not counting stuff that's coming in. We don't know how many are coming in from just the $300 or whatever with them lowering, and we don't know how many cards are coming in per day. So we're still looking at an 18 to I'm saying a 12 to 18 month backlog. Junk slab era. I mean, with everybody sending everything in now, you're going to have every single rookie card, everything's going to be graded for a while. And are we going to see the slabs like prices on and costs of getting base cards, PSA 10? Are they going to drop, or are we going to actually? I mean, it's an interesting conundrum with everybody sending everything in. And we've never had anything like this, but we've never seen anything like this before.
Right.
So it's going to be a very, very interesting time of this. What are your thoughts, Dr. Becky? What are your thoughts, with this coming up, this $1 million, 2 million, 5, whatever million card coming up?
Well, if you did 830,000 a month, which they're really ramping up, that's on a course for 10 million cards being graded in a year. Right. On the other hand, if they've got 10 million cards sitting there from last year, that just gets them to even. And
Right.
I don't know that they're getting 830,000 cards submitted every month. They're not right now at these higher prices, but maybe they could. So they must think that. So, yeah, I think the junk wax slab problem was the junk wax problem was that whole products that were opened up, no cards in the 88 Donruss set were worth putting in a showcase. Right. Now people think, well, if I get a PSA 10 or a BGS 10 or something, I could sell that perhaps. The junk wax slab era is not going to be across the board that PSA 10s are devalued. It's going to be the fact that cards that if you put in something a year ago to PSA of a person that was hot at that time, and even if you get back 10s now, if the person's out of the league or had some kind of a problem, then that's junk now. That's junk, and you're going to wish you hadn't graded it, and you're going to sell it for whatever you can get for it because the demand is not there, whether it's a 10 or not. A lot of the newer cards are not hard. The gem rate, which is where Mike Moynihan's getting his statistics, that the gem rate group are breaking down those 830,000 cards, and you're seeing there's an awful lot of 10s, not on the vintage side, but on the newer side. And so a 10 PSA of an unpopular player that's not a big deal in any kind of registry, I think that could go. The junk means it's going to go for less than what the cost of grading it is.
Right.
And that's already happening for some cards.
Yeah. Do you see
even a 10?
Would you see, or I had this actual thought a couple of days ago, where player collectors of a certain team of a certain year would want all PSA 10s for that. I mean, would you get that finite of a subsection to be able to have someone collecting that? Or, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just sitting in the wind.
There's bottom feeders. I mean, there's people, I have a kind of a little account on ComC, and I have cards there that were graded that are not 10s, and I'm getting them picked off when they're priced by me at less than the cost of getting it graded. And if you're a player collector of that person, that's an 8.5 or a 9 of a more recent card, and but it's less than the cost of grading. But nobody's going to buy it to flip it, I don't think, Brad.
Right. No, yeah.
That's what makes it junk. But if you're a true collector and you're seeing this as a buying opportunity, if you're a Broncos fan, you're going to pick up the Broncos. And you're going to be happy that you got them for half what you would have gotten because there's an oversupply. So not all.
Would you as a collector, you've got two cards, one is a base, one's a PSA 10. Would it matter to you whether as a Broncos collector, would you rather have like a slab that you can't put in in a sleeve or the card raw where you can?
I would pick the slab just because it's been graded. If I had them laying out on a table, I would definitely pick the slab because it's already been graded.
Okay, so
And
prices were equal.
And the
in my collection, I only have like 2 slabs. All the rest of my cards are just in sleeves.
But the future could be, Amy, that the premium for a slabbed card, even a PSA 10, is not so great. If you're going to pay $9 for the card, or $10 raw, and $10 for a PSA 10 of it, it's just a no-brainer.
Right.
You can even crack it out, but yeah.
Right.
So premiums for PSA grading of unpopular players are probably not going to be as strong, and that's kind of like the junk wax slab phenomenon, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean Logan makes a great point. Of low price slab cards, much like dollar boxes at card shows now. I mean, yeah, I'm seeing that as well. I mean, it's especially at Rich's table, he always throws out a row of slabs, and people are always going through it, and people are always looking through it. So I 100% could see more and more and more and more of that, which for the collectors, great. I mean, because the cards are protected. They're you don't have to worry about them getting banged up or anything like that. So yeah, it's disappointing that we have this, because I have a feeling part of the reason of this slowdown, and this is a theory of mine, that part of the reason of the slowdown is because everybody sent everything to PSA. It caused a backlog. Now everybody's waiting on their cards. They thought there was going to be an increase, and now because they can't send in more cards to do for that vicious cycle, that's kind of slowed everything down a little bit. So it's kind of a cyclical thing. So when they start that 800,000 hits back up, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Let's see. Rich, I've sold every slab I have under $20. Very interesting. Very interesting. And wow. I think I'm hold on. I want to snip this, or I'll go back and snip it later, because it's got the word flip and rich in the same sentence. I'll have to get Rich to tell me a story on that one. Tell me a story on that. Amy, you got anything else? Anything else you got?
No. You guys have been awesome this morning. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You are more than welcome anytime to join in the festivities. We absolutely love it. It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Greatly appreciated. And you have a fantastic and fabulous rest of the weekend.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Aiden.
When we go to the shows, we bring dollar boxes.
You do?
Yeah.
You do. That's awesome. What happened to your knee? It looks like you scraped your knee up. All right. Well, tell your dad I'll talk to y'all later, and we'll let y'all go and let y'all listen and have fun, and make sure you tackle your dad for me, okay?
Okay.
All righty. Bye. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
I see we lost Jeff, so I thought I'd call in.
Yeah, Jeff had an eye exam. I asked him earlier if he was, applying for an NFL referee job, getting glasses. So
no, just ask him. He wants to replace Joe West as a baseball umpire.
Oh, there you go. That works as well. That works as well.
But
good morning, sir.
Good morning. So the story was at the May Dallas Card Show where y'all showed up. There had been a couple people who had bought privately from me a bunch of my cheaper slab cards, and one of the dealers got a whiff of that and dumped on my desk or my table a couple hundred slab cards and said whatever the price was. And Saturday at the show, I put them out and I sold some quote retail. I had a sliding scale put out. I had room on the table, and people were actually going and buying them and enjoying them. In fact, our mutual friend Patrick from Radicard still teases me about one of the ones he bought. And the next morning, somebody says, Rich, I'll still take them all. So I go, okay, done. We came up with a number, so I flipped them within 24 hours. But the reason that's happening, in all seriousness, is that there are collectors out there thinking that PSA and Beckett and the top tier grading companies will never again grade a card under $15 or $20 or $25. And therefore, they realize if they're never going to get a card graded for less than that again, why not deal in the bottom market? Because that's going to be a rising tide lifting all boats.
Right. 100%. I 100%, 100 and 1,000% agree with you. And you know why. There's Brody.
Hey, Brody. So that's really it from me on that. So, as I said, I was in tour study. I missed the first 15 minutes of the conversation today. So what important topics did I miss?
Football talk.
Oh, I heard that. As I said, Kyler Murray's. I office in Allen, Texas. You've been to my office. Kyler Murray was a hometown stud here in Allen. I mean, he led them to 3 straight championships. I mean, it'd be collecting a local player. That's why I teased Jim and said he should be on your wall.
Yeah, he should.
But Jim does do local things on his wall. So, but he's special. I mean, he's been great since high school. That's no guarantee that you're going to be great. I remember, and I forgot his name, but there was years ago, the number one prospect 15, 20 years ago, I remember was the big thing, where is he going to go to college? And he announced it at some high school championship, classic game. And he got a free agent try in the NFL and did nothing. So there's never a guarantee. Every level you have to get better at. And we were talking about injuries. Don't forget, Tom Brady missed the season during the middle of his career with an injury too. That could have derailed his whole career. He came back better, and in his 30s, coming back better from a season-ending injury. By the way, that also made Matt Cassell's career. He got a nice contract out of that year too. So, you're right. Injuries happen, but how do you come back? And if Dak is a second-level quarterback, that's still good enough to get you to and win a Super Bowl if your rest of the team is good enough.
Well, I'm saying second tier out of 5 tiers.
That's still pretty good. Second tier out of 5, but I mean, there have been some third and fourth level tier guys who have won Super Bowl. Mark Ripien,
Doug Flutie, or not Doug Flutie. Doug, for the Redskins. Doug
Williams was a little better. Doug Williams was probably a second tier. He had a run for his life with an expansion team. By the time he got there, he had matured quite a bit as a quarterback. Not Trent Dilfer, but the guy for the 2000 Baltimore Ravens that got carried by his defense.
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
No, not Flacco. Before pre-Flacco.
It escapes me, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Jim McMahon. There you go, Jim McMahon. There you go.
Yeah,
Jim McMahon. So I mean, you can win the Super Bowl with a third or fourth tier if the defense is right. If you've got good supporting staff. So
yeah, so
well, I think we've run the course and run the gamut. I did not want to dive into the 800-pound gorilla, because that's just not.
Don't even say the word or the initials.
I'm not going to, because I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. So, Rich, I'll give you the last word and let you
Well, I'm going to be down at Jim's this afternoon taping some podcasts. I'm going to bring that stuff from Mr. Kramer if you want, and that way we can just delve. You can pick whatever you want. It'll take some time, and we'll pick some random set to see what the print runs were, which will be fascinating. And I'm going to say this was done from Mike Kramer. He graciously sent me a list of the Pacific print runs over the years. So so this is with his permission. We're going to go. It's 30 years. It's ancient history at this point. But I'm going to have Jim just give some analysis of that because I think it'd be fascinating to hear. So he'll have to study that since it's still in a sealed box.
Okay.
But so we'll have, so there'll be some interesting things coming up on his podcasts, and I think it'll be fun. And Brad, I can't wait to hear. I heard you tease this morning your podcast that there'd be some changes for nighttime and guests.
There is some news coming. I want to take like a couple of steps forward before we.
Well, since you already announced, I'm not violating anything there.
No. It's just some partnerships will be created and whatnot. Go ahead. I'll let you.
No, I think Jim should always have the final word.
All right. Well, then I'll do it this way. I appreciate everybody. I thank everybody. Hobby's about the kids. The hobby is the people. Thank you very much, Amy. Thank you very much, Aiden and Jason, for joining. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for all the comments, all the love. Some people are having some difficult times. If you're a praying man like myself, make sure that you.
Brad, when you do that, please add my great nephew Beckham, 3 years old, and diagnosed with Burkitt lymphoma. Thankfully, so far it's usually curable, and they've run a spinal tap and something else this week and found nothing else, so they hope it's treatable. Survival rate is 60 to 90% among children when caught early, so we hope they caught it early. So just add him to your prayer list because it's 3 years old he's such a happy boy. It's way too young to have that type of crap happen.
Absolutely. I hear you. It's definitely so. I'll do my exit the way I always do it. If you have any prayer requests, let me know. I will definitely pray you up. Support your local hobby shops, support your local LCSs. And Dr. Beckett, you get the last word.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks for being the quarterback. You're a top tier. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening. We wouldn't have a show if people didn't listen and chime in. So again, thanks for doing the heavy lifting, Brad, and jumping in, Rich. Always a pleasure.
Most definitely. Well, thank you, everybody. Y'all have a fantastic weekend and stay blessed.